Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. It's been a while. I apologize. I've just been doing other things, my life, my career, and yeah, God has been really good to me. Thank you so much for sticking around, for watching my videos, for feedback, for the comments. Thank you so much, guys. Before we go on, if you're new to this channel, welcome back. Welcome. My name's Sandra. Those of you that started with me from the beginning, welcome back. Before we go on, kindly hit subscribe, share, and like my video. This is just a way to encourage me, for me to know I'm doing the right thing and I'm growing. Right, so today we're going to talk about something a bit different. It's a heavy topic, but I'm not an expert in it, but I'm just going to touch light on it based on my personal experience and those of my friends, and the fact that I've been through that phase as well, and I'm still going through the phases because life is in different phases. The topic for today is mental health and well-being. So, a bit of background story. I'm Nigerian, and being Nigerian, mental health is not really a topic that we tend to really acknowledge and talk about. Things are changing bit by bit, but it's not really something you can really talk about. If you're being depressed or if you're going through, mental stress, you can't really talk to people about it like that anyway. We're trying to break the barriers, break boundaries and be more expressive in how we feel within ourselves. And when we're stressed, we're able to, speak up and get the help we need. So being a student nurse, no matter what route you're doing as a student nurse, either BSc or MSc, which is the master's, it is stressful. I think a while back I learned about a research that was made, and nursing was classed as one of the most stressful profession, to go through and finish through and qualify with. So there is an acknowledgement out there that it's a very stressful process, it's a very stressful program, which can likely affect your mental health if you're not really looking after yourself. And for the MSc program, it is very intense. Intense. Is there another word for intense? Because it is really intense. At least the university I finished from the beginning, they tell you this is intense. But people assume, oh, isn't a master's? I've done BSc. If I was able to school in a Nigerian university for my BSc, then this is a walk in the park. It is not a walk in the park, guys. It is not easy. It is intense. Intense for the singles, intense for the married, intense for the young, intense for the middle age, intense for the old. There is no what's the word now? You cannot say it is more intense to a certain group. No, it is all round intense. Even people who have been nurses all their life, who were nurses in Nigeria and decided to still do this MSc, they still testify to say it is intense. So yes, guys, this is an intense program. And for those of us who come in from a different system as an international student, it hits you differently. It hits you differently because one of the issues, you've never, you're schooling in a new country, new educational system, you're introduced to new ways of learning, using more of online materials as compared to when you buy a textbook. I remembered when I nearly came here, I kept asking, are we going to buy any books? Do we need to buy any books? And they kept saying, no, you don't need to buy a book. Everything is accessible online. There's an online library, And if you're coming from a system where you're used to getting a physical book to read, this could be a challenge on its own. Trying to study online, trying to source for materials online, using the online library, using the resources made available by the university. This is a whole new level of learning, a whole new level of trying to unlearn the old and relearn the new, trying to get yourself to learn in a new way is very difficult for some persons. And again, most persons, they learn differently. They tend to assimilate better when they're being taught. Some persons, they need to go back and reread that thing to understand it. Whatever style works for you, works for you. But I'm just doing this video to create more awareness, to let you know that while you're preparing to start as a student nurse, or while you're being a student nurse, understand your strengths, understand your body, understand when, oh, I think I'm getting stressed, I think I'm having some burnout. Try to have a work-life balance. So one of the ways is, guys, your circle matters. The people you take as your friends, they really do matter, because if you have the right kind of friends, you can easily study together and discuss things together and prevent yourself from feeling like you're being swamped with schoolwork, and it just relieves that pressure from you, because I'm not in it alone. I'm in it with my friends. We're in it together. We're figuring it out together. And I'm of a school of thought that believe that when a group of people gather together, they tend to share intellectual knowledge. So I've got my strengths, you've got your strengths. Each and every one of us has got our strengths, and when we meet up together, that gives us a massive force to learn and to understand topics from a different perspective. So really, having a group of friends that you can study together is really key. Then, guys, especially international students, I know that you need to balance yourself in terms of, most of the times you want to pay your fees or pay the balance payment of your fees. So you really need to work your 20 hours. Yes, acknowledge that. But guys, find a balance. Don't let your life be all about, oh, I need to go to work, I need to do my 20-hour shift this week. Find a balance. That's why I always tell people who are close to me, who are student nurses, or who are planning to come do, the degree as a student nurse, as an international student. I say to them, before you resume, if you can pay your school fees in full, please pay your school fees in full, because this removes a lot of pressure from you. It's just an advice, and that helps you plan properly and balance yourself properly, instead of just going into the system and diving right into the deep end. Does that make sense? So finding the balance really helps. Finding that balance really helps. So I've talked about support from your friends, getting a group of friends where you can discuss together, analyze your topics together, go through the lecture notes together. That support from friends is very important. It helps you keep you in track. It helps to keep you in track. And that you, as a group of friends, you have all got a common goal, and the goal is to qualify. The goal is to finish. Having that support as a group of friends is very important. Then number 2, I don't know if it's number 2. Sorry, I'm just used to putting numbers on things. Anyway, the next point we're going to talk about is assessing the support within your school community. Every university in the UK has got a wellbeing support team. Please go to your school website, access your student union and all that, and talk to someone. If you need to seek medical help, please do seek medical help. Talk to someone and say, I need a wellbeing support. Can you signpost me to who I can speak to? There would always be someone to help. If you don't speak up, that's where things get out of hands. Don't wait till when you feel like giving up before you escalate how you feel. If you feel you're too stressed, if you feel like, if you've got, for instance, you've got a lot of essays you need to submit, and at the beginning you already feel like, oh, I am overwhelmed, please speak up. Don't wait till it's the week of submission to then tell your lecturer to be like, oh, I can't meet up, I'm overwhelmed. No, that's being irresponsible. Speak up on time. Access support on time. Speak up on time. Send emails to your course rep. Not your course rep. send email, to the school representative, send email to the one in charge of your course, send emails to the right persons. To your personal tutor, please involve them and escalate immediately you feel overwhelmed. If you feel overwhelmed, you feel you're not getting it, you feel like, oh, I can't cope with all these deadlines, please inform them on time. Inform them, explain your situation to say, I would need more time. Can I get an extension, please? It really doesn't matter if you get an extension on all 5 courses that you need to submit. It doesn't matter. What matters is you submitted and you spoke on time to get that extension. So guys, it's really important. A lot of us, especially Nigerian students, they don't really speak up. They let things get out of hands and then they come out to say, I'm struggling. This society is not a society where whatever you say or if you access the school support, then you're going to see it on the news to be like, oh, Sandra assessed. No, confidentiality is key. So which means whatever you say to anyone, it remains confidential. Unless there is a risk to your life, then they are obliged to escalate it to the right authorities. So please, speaking up on time is very important. Your mental health is very, very important. All these things will prevent you from having burnouts. If you think, oh, I've started placement, I really cannot cope with doing 4 long days, I cannot cope. Immediately you see your rota, speak to the manager in charge of the ward. Speak to the manager, tell the manager, if you've got childcare, tell them, please, is it possible for me to work on XYZ days or to do XYZ number of shifts? The reason is because of my childcare. The reason is because of XYZ. Make it make sense. Don't just go and say, oh, sorry guys, the weather. Don't just go and be like, I don't think I can work the shift and you don't give a reason. That is being irresponsible and rude. Do not be rude, be polite and explain your situation. If there is anything I've come to realize is when you speak up, help comes. People tend to listen to you when you speak up and say how you feel, not when you bottle up your feelings or when you grumble. Speak up the time it is being said. Speak up at that time. Don't grumble because I always believe that when you've got a deadline, if it's an essay, 2 weeks before the essay's deadline, you already know if you can meet up. You already know if you're doing nonsense. So speak up on time and inform the school, your school, if it's, whichever university you're in, whoever is in charge of that course, inform them. The course lead, inform them. Send an email to them telling them, please, can I get an extension? Copy your personal tutor in it. Inform your personal tutor to signpost you to all the help you can get in university. It is very important you do this. Don't assume that people can tell how you feel. No one is a magician. No one is going to go in your heart and bring out words from it. This is just the tips, these little tips are how you can actually get through nursing school because it's overwhelming. It is overwhelming. I remember as a student nurse, myself and my friends, when we qualified, we'll have like calls and we'll start sharing our stories and be like, oh, do you remember this time when this happened? Do you remember this time when this happened? But personally, I got through nursing school because of the support I got from my friends and family. When I was stuck, when it was overwhelming for me, I spoke up to my friends. When I needed an extension, I spoke up to my course lead. I spoke up and I said, I need an extension. I cannot meet up due to XYZ reason. Guys, it is your responsibility to look after yourself. It is your responsibility to ensure that you're on track with whatever thing you're doing with your life. So, hit subscribe, share, and like. it is very important we take care of our mental health. Mental health is a topic that is not really talked about, especially from the community I come from the country I come from, Nigeria. So guys, when you come to the UK, or you're in the UK, you're starting your nursing school, guys, look after yourself. Your physical health and your mental health is important. If you feel unwell, contact your GP. You've paid all this in your IHS. If you feel unwell, contact your GP. Don't go and do self-medication and say it's malaria. Mosquito will not bite you here to give you malaria. If you feel unwell, contact your GP and tell them how you feel. It's better they tell you, oh, you're fine, and don't do nothing, than you not doing anything and it becomes something big. Does that make sense? So yeah, this is me to you. All my love, best wishes. Hang in there. You're getting it. You're doing it right. Hang in there. Now we lose. Now we give up. Now we lose. I had a little bit of pigeon. Anyway, speak to you guys soon. Thank you. Bye. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.